Reading Bhagavad Gita, which is like a Bible to Vedic knowledge, and there's around 3,000 spiritual books like that. Vedas always talk about material world versus spiritual world. As you remember, ladies, I shared many, many times, is that we either live in a space of ignorance, passion, or goodness. And being in India, the air pollution is really, really bad. The garbage is everywhere pretty much. But the happiness people have inside, you feel it everywhere. People are having their basic needs, but because they have such a strong devotion and faith, you feel their happiness and fulfillment in their faces. They're in acceptance what's going on in their life. They're not having expectations, or they're not making creator wrong that they don't have a home, that they don't have daily meals 3 times a day. Some women that, by the way, I want to acknowledge you ladies, all of your contribution went to women whose husband either died, passed away, or not sure exactly how they became widowed, but they're alone. And in some provinces, they wear white. Where I was, they was actually wearing colorful dresses, as you saw in the video. And I was sharing that in the program yesterday. It's embarrassing to share, but I will share. I am thinking about how to get the food for them. And as I'm going outside to the bathroom and I'm trying to walk in, and by the way, everywhere in India, even if you go to the gas station, even if you go to temple, even if you go to bathroom, you cannot wear shoes. You have to take the shoes off and go into the gas stations, restaurants, stores, and everywhere. And here I'm looking at the bathroom. People don't use toilet paper there. They wash themselves. And so there's a lot of water. But on top of the water, excuse my language, a lot of crap is swimming. And women, I'm sorry. And these women are walking into this bathroom without even thinking that there's everywhere caca, excuse my language. And of course, I'm stopping and I'm shocked because the water is brown and the crab is swimming. But they're in such a surrender and acceptance of this is what so. That they're walking barefoot, they do their business and they're leaving. And the trees and the grass is a gray color because of the pollution. It's very bad. There's dust everywhere. And then they take their sari, they're putting it on the floor, and that's where they sleep. And then they walk, they see banana, they take it, they eat it. And there's no expectations. As I'm thinking that, oh, I made them a feast with the money and I left it with one of the monks who gonna feed these ladies for the next 3-4 weeks, I'm thinking, oh, we did such a great thing. But in the reality, they're so fulfilled and happy. We're living in the West, having all of the beauty and external cleanliness and prettiness, but inside, we, compared to the West, are very, very empty. And there is externally dirty and dusty, but internally, these women are very fulfilled and happy in acceptance of what Creator gave them. And how do they do that? Number one is knowledge, spiritual knowledge. And in India, they clearly get, oh, I'm having such a poor life. It's because I was greedy in a previous life. And this is my karma. And therefore, they're not battling with the Creator. And the biggest problem in the West here is that we think, let's be honest, raise your hand if you think that you deserve better in life. Please raise your hand.
100%, girl. Yeah.
You get it? And this is what the spiritual teacher on the program was sharing. This is how we complain to Creator. And in the background, we're really battling Him. And this complaint and the battle shows that we have no faith in Him. This is fundamentally why we're suffering. And they're not.
Can I have a question?
Sure.
But it can be as well that they like raised in a different way, and especially they never saw different life. I mean, because mostly of them never even moved maybe to different village, or I mean, didn't see how it can be. And for us, let's say, and I don't know how it's about internet, if they have connection with internet, like can be it's as well, because like for us, I mean, it depends where we're living. Everything, everywhere competition, everybody live better, everybody, you know, you got my point. Yeah, like I mean, it can be as well definite spiritual knowledge for sure. I mean,
I hear what you're saying, Olga, but they actually have very wealthy homes there. In that village, in that town, there's wealthy people who have hotels, who have Mercedes.
and this,
They see it. They see it. But do you also remember, as I shared, there's 4 varnas. People are either born Brahmins. Brahmins are the priests, teachers who are teaching others. Second is Kshatri. Kshatri is the kings, leaders, or now it's CEOs or managers. Then there's Vaishya, who are business people who are selling, buying things, and they're responsible for the economy. And then there's Shudras. Shudras are the carpenters, people who worked in the factory or picking up rice, or this could be also your nurses, lawyers, and doctors who are helping others. And so they fully accept that they are Shudras. But the reason why they're Shudras, because maybe in the previous life they were Kshatri, kings, or Brahmins, and here they were corrupted and not honest, or here they were stealing money from people. So we see all of this, let's say hypothetically, Bill Gates, who are very wealthy. If he's stealing money from people, he will be in the next life 100 more times Shudra, but very poor one, or even untouchable, the 5th one. And so they're in acceptance. Or same thing in Vietnam. People not watching you if you're gonna steal something in the store, because they believe Buddha gonna get to you and you karmically gonna punish somebody, gonna steal from you much more. And so they're not even watching if you're stealing something. I went on the last day to Ayurvedic doctor, and I didn't have enough Indian money because the ATM had no money left, because there were a lot of people who were coming in. And I took a pill for my sore throat and my headache, and I said, I'm sorry, I don't have enough, even though it was not much. And he said, when you gonna come back, you're gonna pay me. I said, I might come back in 6 months or a year. He's like, I'm not even worried about it. Go. That's the attitude they have. And so, yes, they were brought up like that, not because they don't see rich people. It's they're in acceptance of their varna. But we are here, let's say we're born as a woman, but we are trying to become like a man. Let's be honest, right? We're fighting, we're trying to be smart, intelligent, physically strong, and go to work and provide for ourselves. And we're not accepting our nature. In every store, in every temple, in the little rides that I was getting in India, every man were just saying, hello, Mataji. Hello, dear mom. Acknowledging that I am a mother. Even if I am not a mother because he doesn't know, I could be a future mother. I'm a woman. I have a possibility of being a mom. And so they accept that they're strong. They have to protect me. And they have to respect me because of my nature. I am a mother. So everyone accepts where they are in life, and they're not trying to be someone that they're not. And zero expectations from life. It's like the person understands, I'm a doctor. It is my duty to help others to be healed. And this Ayurvedic doctor, even though I sent the video how he was massaging me and doing the needles, the moment I walked in, he was touching me. It's like, sometimes you have the stomach ache every once in a while. I said, yes. He said, the same stomach ache you're gonna pass to your son, because you're karmically, in a previous life, still carrying some anger towards someone. And you still have it. in your belly. And he gave me the special medicine. He feels it right away. And the way he heals other people, one woman came and she said she's constantly dizzy for the past 6 months. He's saying, karmically, you're carrying something from a specific example to her. It's unbelievable how, because they're doing daily meditation, they're so in tune with people, not just on the physiological level, but on the spiritual level and karmic level. I was just blown away. And so, going back to what I was saying, what they have that we lack is first spiritual knowledge that is passing from their parents and as they're going to temples. The spiritual knowledge gives them, who wants to guess? What do they have that we're really lacking? What is the spiritual knowledge gives us?
Contentment.
For sure, contentment actually starts to kick in the moment you start learning the spiritual knowledge, because the soul remembers the spiritual knowledge because it's been there for hundreds, if not thousands of years. So contentment is there, but what is something that we are lacking in the West that they have? That's the reason why they're fully in acceptance of their life and their circumstances.
Trust, like the creator.
Yes, and this trust
Is
is
everything meant to be?
it's the faith.
Yeah, yesterday you said
Faith. And so Bhagavad Gita is mainly teaching, it has so much fundamentals there, but the two main points is that in order for us to really get closer to Creator, He wants from us faith, and He wants for us to stop being jealous. And guess who are we jealous of? Think about it. Who are we jealous of?
Everyone that has something we want, everyone but us.
For sure. We're jealous of everyone who has something that we don't. But if you look deeper behind it, what is this jealousy connected to?
that like we have possibility to have it, but because like of our, I don't know, trauma, laziness, or something what we want to avoid or hide, like kind of, if you're jealous, it's still possible to reach it. Just you need to, like, I don't know, work hard, learn, like develop yourself.
And therefore, what's behind that?
As well as karma, that like you meant to have it.
None of us are meant to have anything. We only get what we deserve. So it's not it. In the background, ladies, I've learned that we're jealous of Creator Himself. We are angry and we're jealous. It's like, how is He created this world so uneven? I don't get what I really deserve. And other people are dying, being poor, and others are so wealthy. And we are actually judging, angry, and jealous of Him. Because we're lacking trust, the knowledge first, and then faith, this is what we're actually experiencing towards Him. If you think in the background that I deserve better, you are dealing with that jealousy and anger. That complaint, behind that complaint is the anger and jealousy. And to me, that was a big shocker, that I never even thought about it. That if we're not happy about something that is happening, because to me, sometimes I was thinking why those animals are getting killed in Africa. And then I had the revelation that this is what Creator wants. But in that moment, as I was thinking, I was judging Creator. Like He's not doing something right. And behind all of our complaints is this bitterness, anger, and jealousy towards Him. And I just want you to be with that for a moment and be authentic. What is something that you are not happy or complaining about in life? It doesn't seem like you are complaining directly to him, but that complaint is equals that you are angry at him. It's just 99% of the people not going to even acknowledge that they do. They're still going to pretend that they're devotees and will still do the spiritual practices. But if they're complaining, they think I deserve it. In the background, there is this still anger and jealousy. So who wants to acknowledge it? Because for me, I had to face that I was still judging creator. I had to look at it from the global perspective, and that is still a judgment, anger, and jealousy that he was not doing something right.
I don't know. I guess it's like my complaint. I could say like my complaint is not having like community connectedness right now, or community unity within my community right now. It seems like a lot of people are kind of like in different spaces and kind of like pulling apart, and it's making me angry. It is making me angry.
Ladies, if you have something personal that you feel that it's unfair, that you're single, or that you don't have enough money, or that you're ill, or something else, this is something that you also want to acknowledge. Because the more complaints you have, the more you're suppressing them, the more they're still there. So you want to acknowledge
Let's just say all three.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for acknowledging all three. That you're complaining that you're single, that you're ill, or there's a lack of money. Olga, what else? What do you want to acknowledge? Being fully authentic.
Ill as well, actually, about my headache.
Yes.
Just like, and I don't know what is this. And like, I tried everything. I mean, I know it's my stress and everything, but like, yeah, how I can cure it, I don't know. But to be honest, if comparing that I will have bad marriage and like bad husband, I'm better will be single. That's why I was, because I'm single, kind of, yeah, I mean, I want a family, but I still trust that everything in the right time. I'm working toward it, and like, I mean, I think it will be number 3. I think first it's materialistic part will be, because like, because I'm single, I'm always thinking about it. I'm in muscular energy. Second, definitely it will be like my headache. Like it's really make me, live my life. Let's say, and definitely single. It will be just somewhere third place. Let's say.
Yeah, but the way we live life, and thank you for acknowledging that the headache is definitely complaint, the money, and the singlehood. We don't even want to justify. Justification looks like, well, somebody else is actually worse than me. I don't want to have it like that. But we want to be fully
comparing.
Yeah, because we want to fully acknowledge what is there between us and the Creator. In order to really put that filter out, we first have to acknowledge where we're judging Creator. Samantha, what is there for you? What is their judgment? Maybe money, maybe the way your pregnancy going, maybe something else.
Honestly, I feel like I'm always hounding on it with the money.
Yeah.
But lately, like even with Vivian's dad, I'm more frustrated with myself, and I just wish I could grow past finding men that have such a hard time providing for the women in their life. Because Vivian's dad is almost, it makes me sound so rude, but he's so annoying with his constant complaint about money's so hard to get. He can't get it. It's been a year since he's seen Vivian, and he was supposed to buy plane tickets, and she's so sad. And it makes me kind of sad because she's worth every dollar, and I just don't understand why I keep aligning myself with men that find money so hard to get when I know that it's actually not. And that my daughter's feeling it, and I just feel frustrated because I know I'm the one that's doing that.
Let's just be with that. Because in your world, you really feel sad and hurt that Vivian dad cannot even afford a plane ticket so she can spend a good quality time with him, with her dad. And you're taking it personally that you've attracted this man who cannot afford a ticket. If in the previous life we were greedy towards our kids or towards our significant others, in the next life, we're going to be attracting them in order to go through that lesson. You know what I mean? Like everything, unfortunately, or not fortunately, just the way it is, that's the way God created. We have to experience everything ourselves to experience that. If you're struggling financially, either in the previous life you were again greedy, or possibly that you're greedy in this life. For example, Ayana, if you feel like you are having a hard time unifying the group, somewhere in other places, in other groups, you're not playing your role of unifying the other groups. You have that means that power. And if we're taking it personally that I have to unify only this group, Creator not gonna give you the access to unifying this group because you're not unifying other groups. Maybe in your workplace, maybe this group, maybe other group, maybe other, because you have this gift. And this is all connected to our ego and our material world. And what's really huge difference between us here in the West and in the East, there in India, people follow. I'm a woman, I give birth, I have community, and I serve. Creator wants from us our trust in Him, our faith, and how we can show our faith is being of service. Like a doctor, he's healing others. You, Ayana, have a gift of unifying people. That means it is your duty of being of service, of unifying people, not just in that one particular group that you're worried about it. When you show up, you gotta unify it everywhere. If we're a woman, it's our duty to be compassionate, loving, gentle, soft, because we're born like that. There's only 5% women, actually 5% people in the world who are born Kshatri, leaders. 2.5% men, 2.5% women. But a lot of us in the masculine world put on the uniform, weapons, and pretending to be like we're warriors, like we're men. And that's how we're violating ourselves. And so, again, the spiritual guru said, if you're struggling with money, either you have to donate money in the right place, not meaning like you give to a homeless person and he drinks alcohol. That means you're accumulating bad karma. Either you gotta serve people or you gotta donate money for a good cause in order to overcome the financial scarcity. But we logically, in the West thinking, in order for me to have money, I gotta work hard. And this is fundamentally 100% wrong. I don't work hard. I pray, sometimes I lead programs and have meetings with you. But through me, husband is making money. Sometimes my karma kicks in, sometimes he kicks in. Sometimes he goes through breakdowns. Surrendering and doing everything we can to continue without complaints. This is a very hard concept because we're trying to use our logic to provide for ourselves. Please be authentic and share if this is very hard to grasp that all of your money is already allocated to you. You don't need to work hard using your logic, figuring out how to protect yourself. Creator will always take care of you. Yes, you have to take action, but you don't have to break yourself. And if you deserve 100,000 or 50,000 per year, you cannot jump to make 300,000. And if you'll try to jump to get 300,000, sooner or later you'll pay with your health. Please raise your hand if you're struggling with this concept. Thank you.
I think I
Mhm.
do truly
Mhm.
understand that, actually. Understand that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because everything that we have, without us fully ever understanding it, Creator does it for us. And He wants our appreciation. In Bhagavad Gita, I actually got the book of Spiritual Guru. One second. He created the poetry, Bhagavad Gita. It's actually in Russian. And the first shloka is like poetry, and that's the way Bhagavad Gita is starting. Creator is asking us, give me all of the things that you are doing in life. Give me the credit to me. Because in life we're living thinking, well, I've achieved getting this job, I achieved getting this husband, I achieved getting these kids, I achieved buying a home or a car, I achieved having my community where I'm helping people. None of it is you. None.
Marita, does that count with how where I was just sharing and I was like, I feel guilty that I'm attracting these people, it's my fault? Or is it only on our accomplishments that we're like giving it up to God?
Good question. Our accomplishments comes from Him, and the lessons you get in life, when you get those lessons, you gotta thank them for it as well. For example, years ago in my late 20s, a boyfriend that I was dating for 3 years cheated on me with my girlfriend. Back then, I was heartbroken for a good year and a half. Now looking back, I am so grateful he'd done that. Creator sent this to me. Why did He send that to me? If this incident didn't happen, I would have never looked at my husband. Because my husband is totally not my type. I like Antonio Banderas' type of guy. Tall, black hair, black eyes, Spanish, Middle Eastern looking guys. And then I'm meeting my husband. And I'm actually getting to know who he is. And then not a single Antonio Banderas is worth my husband's hair. Because who he is as a human being. I saw all of his qualities. But if I didn't have this heartbreak, I would have never paid attention who this guy is. Who is so loyal, so intelligent, who is so kind, who is brave, who is gonna go beyond and beyond to do anything to make me happy. Because I was attached that, I like Antonio Banderas' guys. And Antonio Banderas were breaking my heart. Do you get it? So Creator hurts me in order for me to grow and learn. And so even all of the pains that we go through, it's given to us so we can expand. Otherwise, when we're so comfortable, we'll just fall asleep. But when we go through difficult times, we go on the knees. We seek Creator. And this is actually in Vedic books are saying, it's a blessing. When we go through pains, I would have never started to learn deep spiritual knowledge if I didn't go through that heartbreak. I would have never met my husband. I would have never been married and had a son. All thanks to this guy who broke my heart and cheated on me with my friend. He shook me up so that I got on my knees and started to learn what's going on, why I'm so miserable. So do you get how blessing? This is a huge blessing. So everything comes from him. Ayana is sharing how her group is not unified. Because if you really get to know Ayana, and I'm slowly getting to know her each time through the meeting, she has such a light and she just wants to bring people together. And I don't see you right now bringing the people together. You're shining a little bit, maybe 5% of the light. And he wants you to shine 100% light everywhere. And when you're gonna give yourself generously everywhere, people of course gonna be like bees on the honey or a flower gonna come to you. It's all lessons. All lessons. We're all trying to find happiness somewhere. Maybe it's through the boyfriend, maybe it's through the money, it's maybe through something, finding a good job. But there's nothing more sweeter than having this deep and meaningful relationship to him. Bhagavad Gita and the spiritual guru in India said, the reason why we feel lonely, sad, and unhappy is because of all the lack of connection to him. In the modern society, we're just brainwashed with so many TV shows and all of the Instagram, Facebook, movies, TV shows, and all of the chasing. But one thing that the modern society is lacking on all levels is the spiritual knowledge. And that's the only thing that really fundamentally makes us happy. The moment when my meditation drops and I'm not meditating as at least for an hour and a half, I've noticed how I'm having this little expectation from my husband to make me happy. And then I catch myself, oh, it's still there. It's amazing how we have the selfish nature for somebody to still please us or make us happy. But that happiness only within us in a relationship with him. It's impossible for anyone else to bring you that happiness. But then there's a deeper problem here, is that we're surrounded in a material world with people who are trying to survive, who have this lack of spiritual knowledge, who have no relationship to Creator, and then we're hoping that somehow if we're gonna meet that friend or gonna meet that man, that we're somehow gonna be happy. But that somebody, whether it's friend or boss or boyfriend or husband, is dealing with the material things, how to survive. And the spiritual guru in India was sharing, it's monkey who is stuck on the tree and there's a flood everywhere. And he's trying to get to the shore, but there's a river and it's a flood everywhere and it's stuck on the tree. And all of a sudden the monkey sees the crocodile. And crocodile saying, oh, jump on me. I'm gonna give you a ride to the shore. And monkey said, I don't trust you. He said, well, I had a lunch. I'm not gonna eat you, I promise you. And monkey says, are you sure? And crocodile says, you can trust me. So the monkey jumps on the crocodile and it starts to swim. But it's not swimming to the shore. And monkey is asking crocodile, where are you taking me? Why are you not taking me to the shore? And crocodile saying, well, I am full, but my wife and my kids are hungry. And my wife loves monkey's heart. It's her favorite dessert. And monkey was clever enough to say, well, crocodile, I have a bad news for you. I'm sitting on your back, but my heart is on the tree. So we have to go back so I can pick up my heart. And crocodile was not smart enough turned around, took the monkey to the tree. The monkey jumped on the tree and obviously never got back to the crocodile. And so the spiritual guru saying, we're giving our hearts to everyone in the material world, hoping that they're going to protect and love us and have a deep and meaningful relationship with us. But you got to actually always protect your heart. Leave it on the tree, leave it at home. Because unless people are spiritually growing, it's very dangerous to trust your heart. Because at any moment, anyone can break your heart. The only person that is really interested to protect your heart is Creator. And Creator, if you trust Him, will send you people who are devotees, who are spiritually growing. And with those people, you can actually create a meaningful and deep friendship and relationships. Otherwise, we're carrying our heart is like, oh, huh, you can take it, and you can take it. And that's dangerous. Who can relate to it? That you're walking around with your heart and giving it to everyone. Who wants to share?
I can. Oh, I let Olga go. You raised her hand.
Go.
Good guy, Anna.
I would say I always try to, like, even though right now, like I said in the beginning, having like this feeling of being upset about being single, it's kind of like 50-50 because I know that without me getting divorced, the women who are in my life now, I would have never had the opportunity to meet them. It's because that I got divorced and I moved to New Jersey and I made really close friendships and connections with women there. And then I went to Morocco and I met women there and I made connection with some of them as well. And now it's been a year later and some of those ladies are like the closest that I've had. I've built a true friendship with them, which I feel like when as you get older, you don't make friends as often. You kind of keep like the same friends that you've had when you're like in your early 20s and teens. But to build these friendships at 30 now, I'm like so amazed. And they're just the best ladies. And I feel so much love from them. Like I feel so much love from them. And I have to remind myself all the time, like when I have like a moment, like, and I'm thinking small and I'm thinking, oh, I'm coming home and no one's here. But I am, having dinners and having people over and trying to express that love for people that I know that have love for me. And I'm able to do that. And I wouldn't have been able to do that without going through that period of divorce. It just wouldn't have opened any of those doors. So I just tried to remind myself of that, but when you're saying like keep your heart on the tree, I think before I was giving my heart just out, like, and everyone who like grew up with me, they were like, you're so naive, this girl does not like you. I'm like, really? I would have never thought she didn't like me. Like it never even occurred to me until I was like married and like going through things, which it never occurred to me that someone who chose to be in my life would actually not like me or would actually not want to be kind to me. Because I feel like when you're choosing to be in a life or a friendship or anything with someone, it's because you like them. But that's not always the case. And like the alligator comes and it's like, hey, let me take you on a ride. And I'm like, oh my God, this is great. You're so nice. And that's how I was for a really long time. So being able to withhold that percentage of myself and just save that for God, like save that for Him, because I know He created it. He's handling it with care and with compassion and with forgiveness, and no one else is going to do that for me. So withholding a little bit, but still trying to give out the love that I know other people are giving back to me. It's definitely been a journey. I'd say like before you mentioned it, I wouldn't have thought like I was so angry about the community But it is something that now that we're having the conversation, I'm noticing like I am really upset about that. So just working through some of those things, but I am reminding myself that the struggles are not for nothing.
Yes. Yes, struggles are not for nothing. They are all for us. So thank you, Ayana, for acknowledging that you're seeing now the beauty. After the divorce, you are blessed with a beautiful community of women that you've met in your 30s. And that's a gift. Gift from him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we want to save our hearts for Creator. And only through Creator he will the one who will send us people. And sometimes he sends us people to check if we're really believers, if we have faith, to test us. And then also he sends us the people who will help us to become even more devotees, more deeper devoted to him. And so we also have to check and not just give our heart to right and left to everyone.
Like, if you want to have beautiful family, you have to be so like devoted and give all to that person. And I did. I gave it away, and it was smashed. So it's because I thought that's how it's supposed to be. Like, you have to be so caring, so loving about another person, and after that, you learn it. Even I'm careful because I'm coming with a traumatic family. My mom was giving a lot and my dad did not actually appreciate it. And I tried to be careful. But still, sometimes I think when you're meant to learn lessons, your heart is going to get broken and you have to rebuild it. It's painful, but you have to rebuild it and learn. And now I'm learning from you about the relationship because I guess I'm lacking the knowledge in that field and being more protective, which is on the other hand, when you don't trust people, and that makes it hard because now I'm like brutal, little thing, and you out. So I'm kind of trying to balance that trust with the new people coming into my life because I'm afraid. People here, they say things, but in reality, after that, you find out stories that far away from reality.
Thank you, Donatella.
So,
I get it. One thing that I want to acknowledge, ladies, if we're scared, our vibration is low, we're going to attract people who will break our heart. Once we're healing and we're starting to trust, but we're trusting Creator. When we're trusting Creator, we are not walking around desperate to meet someone. We're just trusting in Him and we're slowing down in our search because people are all out there. And if they see you that you're happy, men will gravitate to you like nothing else. They're going to be all coming to you. But if you have a strong relationship to Creator, you will see the bad flies from the bees. Because you have high vibration, you won't be able to even get attracted to those flies. Flies I'm calling a low value man. You'll be only attracting to bees because you're a flower. And when you will see a fly, you're like, oh, this is not the right person for me. But in order to do that, we need to heal. And at the same time, that's why it's important to date properly. We women tend to go on the 3-4 dates and we fall in love with the guy on the second date, third date, we're already wearing a wedding dress, subconsciously, not physically. And we're already thinking about his last name, how handsome, how intelligent he is. And that's what I'm talking about, carrying your heart on the sleeve. And we gotta take 6, 7, 8 months to get to know him. The longer we get to know him, the longer we actually understand if he is the right person. But we women tend to just put all the eggs in one basket and then falling in love with the guy, and then we get disappointed. That's why this program yesterday was really, really fundamental. Highly recommend for you, Donatella, because I was giving the key points how to date a guy properly. Right now I'm saying it in 2-3 minutes, but it's really will benefit you a lot. But also going, Ayana, to your point, ladies, we do have, you were mentioning, Ayana, in the background, there's some kind of expectations. And we all ladies have some kind of expectations in life, whether it's from ourselves, whether it's from our dating, man, workplace. We all have expectations. And let me ask you, if we have expectations, what do you think will happen?
Disappointment.
Yes.
My mother used to always say expectations are disappointment on layaway.
Yes. Expectations equals to upset or disappointment or frustration. And so, for example, when you have one of the signs when you're spiritually growing, you stop having expectations from people. Do you know how much freedom in that you experienced? Enormous. For example, Olga was supposed to go with me to South Africa. Last minute, she got invited to Maldives. And she wanted to go to Maldives, she was telling me, for a year. And she has opportunity to go there for free. What right do I have to be upset with her if I know she'll be happy if she'll go to Maldives, especially with someone else, and it's going to be free? I have no right. And if I had expectations, yeah. But if I had expectations that, no, you told me you're going to go with me to Africa and India, I would be upset. Our friendship would have ended. Zero expectations. I would like for us to go to Turkey in May and have a retreat. Looks like maybe it's not going to happen. That's fine too. Creator doesn't want the retreat in May in Turkey. That's fine. Zero expectations. No expectations. No expectations, zero upset. And then you're in harmony with Creator. Good things happen, you acknowledge Him. Bad things happen, you're like, okay, I need to learn something. I need to learn. That means I'm lacking knowledge in that realm. That's all.
Is it, I feel a little silly asking, but is that realistic for your partner as well, to have no expectations of your partner?
Now, with regards to the partner, the reason why we get triggered by our partner is because there's always this dance between a man and a woman. And so there's always, you're overcoming something and learning and growing and learning and growing. Because if everything always would be smooth, it would be very boring. Do you get it? And so Creator created us very unpredictable as women. In the spiritual books, he describes the way he created a woman so he would never understand her. So man could read 5,000 books and still will be confused about us. Men are very simple actually, but we are very complex. And Creator made it like that so we would be a mystery to him.
And
So
even to us.
Yes. And so he would never be bored with us. And so there's a beauty to us. And that's why, yes, there will be always some kind of tension with our husband and our fiance in order for us to learn and grow. But I will tell you, the more you have acceptance, space, and surrendering to Creator, with more grace, you'll be able to overcome those challenges. So yesterday, we were supposed to go to my husband's mother's birthday. Right before leaving, we see that the car is broken, it doesn't start. So my husband, with his ego, decided that he can fix it in 1 hour. In reality, he was under the car until 2 o'clock in the morning. But at 9 p.m., his best friend, who lives 5 minutes away, decided to stop by and he brought beer. But my husband gave me word that he's not gonna drink alcohol. And so here's his friend, he's frustrated, trying to fix the car. All day. We missed his mom's birthday. And here his friend comes with a beer and he's giving it to him. He's getting out of under the car and I'm looking from the window. He doesn't see me. And I almost see how much he wants this cold beer. But at the same time, he knows that I'm not gonna be happy, even though I'm not gonna do ta-ta-ta, but I'm still gonna be not happy. And he knows it. And so he's like, I see he's struggling, but then he's like, no, I need to fix this car. And then he goes out of the car and continues to fixing it until 2 o'clock in the morning. But it's a dance. And in that moment, I see how he's struggling in his mind, but he makes a decision. But even if he would have drank this cold beer, the way I would have reacted now versus 2 or 3 years ago, it would have been very gentle and fragile thing without making him wrong or guilty. I would have continued to serve him, making him dinner, doing the breakfast, but I would turn my faucet of love off and he would notice that something is off. Do you get it? Not screaming, yelling, making him wrong, but he would feel this air of cold air a little bit, even though it would be gentle, nice cooking, breakfast, lunch, dinner, talking, but he would feel the air of coldness. And that just comes with, again, your learning. Again, without the knowledge, you're not going to have faith. First, faith comes with the Creator. Then you have faith in you, and then only you have faith in your husband, and then people. If you don't have faith in Creator, you will look through the lens at life that everything is off. Everything is off. But when you have trust in Him and faith in Him, you start trusting Him, then only yourself, and then the husband. And so then everything shifts. Any questions about it? Because this is really good question, Samantha, that you brought it up. But the tensions, little here and there, will always be there still. It's part of the growing process. Unavoidable.
Like, short question.
Mhm.
So expectation, we can have it only from a husband. Yeah, like, I mean, definitely not from parents, not from girlfriends. What about kids?
Honestly, we shouldn't have expectations even
Even
from
from husband.
and even from kids.
But we're expecting him, like, I mean, to provide, to protect. It's as well expectation, correct? Like, but
Well,
it's his duty.
yes,
He
this is.
expecting from us to.
Oh no, this is a really good one. If you're expecting a man to provide and do his duties, you have this righteous note and energy, he will refuse doing it. And that's what most of the
He
women
will
feel, that
compete
they're,
kinda, yeah?
he will feel like, oh, I'm entitled. I'm entitled for you to protect me. And this is expectations. This is not, he's not gonna connect to his duty at all. When you do your duties, it will become natural for him to do his duties. Men are the mirror of us. If you're in your feminine energy, he will reflect naturally a masculine energy. When you know your duties is number one, to take care of yourself and your relationship to Creator, and then your family, meaning you feed your husband, you feed your children, you nurture your kids, and there's a energy of happiness and harmony at home. That means you're doing your duties. You want to work? Sure. After you've done your duties at home, you can go to work for 1 or 2 hours because you want to. Not because you're thinking to make more money or help your husband, none of that. So when you know your duties and you're doing them, husband would naturally will step in and would want to do his. But we don't have, you do your duties. It's your duty to protect me, provide, and lead me. If you ever have even a thought like that, behind this thought there's an energy, he will refuse doing it. Man would never want to do his duty. He will resist doing it 100% until he'll connect that you're really soft and feminine. That you actually need his protection. Man want to do his duty, and his duty is to protect you, provide for you, which is again protect you financially, and lead you when you're vulnerable, when you're gentle, when you're soft, when you're kind and compassionate. And if a man doesn't feel the need to protect you, the problem is not with him. It's because you took on the job, his job, to protect yourself. And then you, with your righteous voice and note, is demanding it. He He'll start playing video games and going on porn. It's like, what's wrong with this masculine woman? How did I get into marriage with her? That's how he gonna feel. This is such a great question. So 0 expectations. We're turning to us. And same thing with kids. If I see our son is playing video games more than an hour or hour and a half, I know it's not his problem. I know it's my problem. Because I got too busy cooking or too busy on the phone or something else, doing the video or sending it to someone. And then hour and a half passed and he's still on the video games. How can I make him upset? I'm not doing my duty. I immediately get him to the park, we go outside, and no more video games. But we cannot have these expectations, not from kids, not from parents, not from our husbands or boyfriends. Really great question. Expectations from God, from anyone else, will always equal to feeling disappointed and upset. Because in reality, Creator wants us to learn to trust Him, have faith in Him, and serve Him. He wants us to give all of the credits that we have, whatever that we're getting in life, to Him, and to learn to serve others. This is, the more we're serving others, the more we're sending the message to Him that we love all of the kids because you're His child. Olga, Samantha, every human being are His children. And this is how we're being in our feminine nature. And then we're serving our husband, we're serving our kids, and we're teaching them how to serve us as well. But our selfish nature is like, I want to give all the credit to myself. It's all me. Me. And then we're becoming further and further and further away from Him. In expectation is just as nothing but complaint, anger, and jealousy to Him. And if we're serving others and when we're trusting Him, we're in a full devotion of Him. And before I was understanding it theoretically, I'm starting to just, after the India, grasping it on a much deeper level spiritually. Because again, the more we're serving others, the more we're growing. The more we're expanding our consciousness. Because behind the mantra, I wish everyone happiness, the more you wish happiness to others, guess to whom happiness comes back? To you. So in a way, it's a very selfish, but it's very selfless at the same time. The more you are serving, the more you're wishing happiness to everyone else, the more it comes back to you. And so, Ayana, if I can suggest something, instead of seeing how everybody is scarcity in your group, start reaching out to them. Get into their world. See what they're dealing with. How you can support them. Be of service. And you'll see how people are going to start gravitating to you. Because our nature, our human nature, we are stuck in our head. And in our head, we're stuck being upset with this person or that person, or judging this person or that person. And as we're getting hurt, upset, or having expectations, there's a zero room for thinking about Creator. Zero. It's all me, my feelings, my pride, my ego. And the moment we're letting go, forgiving, detaching from expectations, from our hurt and upset, there's a room now for Creator, connecting to Him. And creating new understanding. Having room for Him. And that's what He wants from us. Our faith. Our faith. And being of service.
Definitely about expectation. I mean, I know I already shift like a lot from before, but it's always room to grow. And still something I'm still catching myself like, oh, I expected this person to do like that or think like that, or I don't know, like to pick me up to wherever. But then sometimes I'm noticing this directly, but sometimes like after 1 hour, after 2 hours, but like definitely it's still room to grow. And definitely about judgment and like I mean jealousy, it still exists. And I'm sure it's as well this country putting on me a lot, but I know it's ever since starting with us. And I mean, yes, definitely where we are, it's a lot putting on us pressure. But if I'm here, it's meant to be for me still this kind of part of my life, not finishing here. Still something I need to do it here. That's why it's all for me. And again, to kind of surrender, trust, and I mean, continue to work on myself.
Thank you, Olga.
Thank you.
Thank you, honey. Yeah. Anyone else? What are you taking from the meeting today?
I definitely took, I really appreciated the reminder of faith and having faith in Creator. And actually, something uniquely for me that I took away from this was taking things personally when I'm experiencing challenges and stuff, instead of seeing it as, again, that faith and having it as a blessing. I feel like a lot of the times when I speak to you, you're like, you're taking that personally. You're taking it that personally. And I do try to, like, you know, because I don't want to repeat mistakes and I don't want to have to like miss a lesson. So I am constantly like taking them in. And sometimes I think that is to my detriment. And so the faith and being grateful and not taking things personally.
Beautiful, Samantha. Thank you. Not taking it, no expectations, and not taking it personally. Yes, good, really good. Yeah. Ayana, Donatella.
I think
Ayana.
for me, I'm gonna be feeling jealousy towards our creator. I really have not really put that into perspective about like, you know, why I'm feeling all of that. Right now it is Ramadan, and so like we're fasting and we're praying at night and stuff like that. And I think I would like to take some time to kind of pray about that and try to get that off my heart. Oh, no, it's fine. Girl, I've been fasting for so long. It doesn't do anything for me. That's okay. Really, and I was actually talking about this with some of my coworkers because they were like, you know, I can't imagine not having food. I'm like, that is the easiest part of fasting. The hardest part is changing your mindset. It's not gossiping. It's like having better character. That is really the hardest part. The food is like, okay, it's just, you know, I'll have dinner later. Like, it's okay. But trying to really work on the negative things in me has been a big, big, big test. But that's what it's here for. That's why we have it every year, to kind of recalibrate ourselves and, you know, really look into ourselves deeply and see what we're struggling with and, you know, pray about it and try to work through that. But this thing of being angry about something, like, you know, I would think, oh, maybe I'm upset about, you know, being single, or I'm not necessarily so upset about not having like finances. Like you said, God always provides. The other day I realized I needed toothpaste and I was like, oh my God, I gotta buy toothpaste now. It's always something. And I'm not even kidding. There's an older gentleman that's in my community and I've been selling cookies. And so he supported me with that and I gave him a free box of cookies. Do you know he gave my mom toothpaste for me as like a gift? And was like, can you give her this toothpaste? And I was like, I literally said this morning I need a toothpaste. I can't believe, I was like screaming. I've been talking about it for the past week. I really have. Because I was like, I literally said this morning, oh my God, I need toothpaste. Of course, it's always something. And he sent me a nice tube of toothpaste. It's very random, but it's moments like that.
But do you know that it's not
myself.
random? It's Creator
Yes.
sending you the message.
Yes. I'm taking care of you. Stop being yourself and worrying about nothing. I'm taking care of it. And it's really moments like that where I try to remind myself, like, he's taking care of it. He sent me toothpaste yesterday. Like, what am I gonna do? Like, if he's not doing it, nobody can. But yeah, being upset about the unity thing and coming together, and I'm really just gonna work on that. And Amrita, you are on the right track, because I am in the midst of planning something for the end of Ramadan. So whoever's around and can come, I'm trying to get people, whoever is interested, to have like a morning brunch. So I am stretching myself, I think, in the best way that I can.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing yourself.
Thank you, Brian.
Yeah. Donatella, if you want to acknowledge, what are you taking away from today's meeting?
Definitely expectations, because I expect everyone to be like me. If I help everyone, I expect someone else to do it to me. And I have a big problem with that. Then I see that they're not so disciplined like I am. Because when I say something, I mean it. And half of the people they know, they just say to talk, and that really upsets me after that. So this one is a hard one. So I need to work on that one for sure.
Thank
Because
you.
people say things and they will never do even anything close to what they say. And me, if I say, I will make sure 100% I do it, you know? So, yeah, I need to learn to let it go of these things.
Yeah. Deepen your relationship to Creator so the expectations gonna start dropping. And as expectations, lady, starts to drop, what's gonna start showing up is the acceptance. Room to accept people the way they are. No one is perfect.
But how can you have friendship if people keep doing like these kind of things? So how can you have friendship? That's when you like leave your friends, because I know it's you don't expect something, but that's how you lose the trust, and it's like ongoing thing.
But honestly,
even with a good person.
Donatella, first you gotta acknowledge that you're not perfect.
Oh, I know.
You see? And because we're judging others because you're thinking, I am doing it, that means I am perfect. You gotta do it because I do it. You gotta let go of that ego that you are perfect. You're not perfect.
No, not.
Yeah. And you see, Creator sends us somebody who we can develop a deep friendship and talk about our relationship. We have other people that we can talk about work. We have other people that we can go through a difficult period of time. We have other friends that we can go out and talk about light things. Other friends, we can talk about spirituality. But when we have expectations to have all of it from one person, and that person have no capacity, they're gonna fail.
Yeah, you're right.
And right now it looks like because you have so much expectations from yourself, you're gonna put that a lot of expectations on others, and there'll be nothing but the room for them to fail. And in the reality, they're not failing you. You're failing yourself because you're gonna be alone again and again because you just have so much expectations from them. And that puts enormous pressure on that one person, that one friend, to be perfect next to you. And no one is perfect. The only person that is perfect is above you. And that's who you really need to have a much deeper relationship, to let go of that expectations from others.
I'll try.
Yeah, people are perfect the way they are. They're beautiful. They each have their own gift.
Yeah, but also we each talk whatever, you know? It's like you have a brain for a reason, so you use them accordingly, not messing up other people.
Yeah, but this is again about whipping them with judgment. You gotta be this way because you have a brain. No, learn to accept. Right now, the acceptance is lacking to others because you're not also accepting yourself. There's some kind of judgment towards yourself that maybe you haven't achieved something that you wanted to achieve, or you're in another relationship, or there's some kind of judgment towards you. You gotta really heal, accept that you are perfectly where you need to be. It's perfect. Creator is giving you these tests and these exams in order for you to learn and to grow. And you are. Yes. Oh, I thought somebody said something. So, chillax, relax, meditate on it. All is well. All is well.
Okay.
Yeah. More compassion towards you and others, and less expectations. Less.
Yeah, I'll try.
That's a good start. First, acknowledging where you are. Yeah, that's the first step. With that said, ladies, I just want to acknowledge you. Thank you for coming. It's been a really wonderful to have you today and to share this little knowledge that I got from India. I continue to grow and expand and learn. In the 2 weeks, I actually wanted to talk about, if you ladies are interested, where we have this negativity, where it's coming from, where is this expectations is coming from, and how this negativity and those negative feelings of expectations, jealousy, anger, and greed is really coming from, and how we can overcome. So if you're interested, we can deepen that conversation in 2 weeks. If not, then we can shift talking about the topic of relationship. Whatever is feels right, let me know, and we can either continue the spiritual conversation or relationship. Let me know. Who is interested more in a spiritual conversation? Raise your hand.
We can do first spiritual, next one relationship.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I agree.
I
Okay.
am interested in the removal of expectations and that negativity.
Okay,
Even when you're thinking of like yourself or others and stuff.
okay. Let's do that. In 2 weeks, we will deepen into that conversation. Really great. Okay, and if you don't mind, I'm gonna read a few paragraphs from Bhagavad Gita. I think that one page that I'm gonna read gonna open up a lot of it will give you a lot of insights to think about through. So if you don't mind, I'm gonna bring that book next time. Okay, very good. With that said, ladies, namaskar. Thank you so much. Thank
Thank you
you.
for sharing today, Amrita. Really appreciate it and hearing about your trip. And you just are glowing in all your videos and pictures and everything. And I really appreciate you sharing yourself.
Thank you. Thank you, ladies. It's such a
So glad your health is back as well.
thank you.
Not
Yes.
true. Oh goodness.
Oh, and by the way, there's possibility that Olga probably gonna join, and Kristen, we're thinking to go either to Vrindavan in India in November or Himalayas. So if anyone is interested, but the air quality is so bad. I'm just giving you ladies heads back. But
4 days maximum. Or,
yeah, 4 days probably is the max, because after 4 days it's like
Oh goodness. You have to develop new lungs to live
I know.
there.
With that said, Ayana, thank you for your acknowledgement. Again, I appreciate you, because again, it's a gift. It's a gift for me to share this knowledge with you, because it makes such a huge difference in my marriage and in my life. So it's a privilege. Namaskar, ladies.
Namaste.